please.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you all for being here. Secretary Granholm, the Biden administration announced that they were going to pause pending LNG export projects, which seems like the stupidest decision I can imagine. So in my state, we export LNG. We have through our ports. We put a lot of money when I was governor into our ports. We export it. And so if you look around the world, they want our LNG. We've got a war going on in Europe. We don't want people dependent on Russia. So we're exporting to Europe. We're exporting to Asia, right? The people, the bad guys are the ones that produce the oil, a lot of them, Russia, Iran, right? So if we don't do the exports, right, so where do our allies buy it? They have to buy more from Russia. They have to buy more from Iran, okay? So Iran's invaded Ukraine. Iran is trying to destroy Israel. So this makes, one, economically, it hurts my state. But number two, from the standpoint of what's going on in the world, this is the stupidest decision ever. So can you explain it to me?
Yeah, just to clarify a point, this is a pause. It is not a halt.
Why would we pause?
So that we can evaluate, as we do and are required to do, what is in the public interest. We do a study every few years. Right now is when we're doing this study to determine whether the enormous increase
in authorizations. Did Russia pause going into Ukraine? Has Iran paused?
All of the current exports are still happening. All of the current authorizations, which goes up to 48 billion cubic feet, are all proceeding.
Did you pause the new pending export projects?
But yes. Everything that is, we are currently the largest exporter of liquefied natural gas, and we will remain the largest exporter of liquefied natural gas.
First off,
it is a temporary pause.
Do you understand what you're doing to our allies?
The impacts.
Secretary,
We've talked with our allies.
What are you doing to our allies? Okay.
We've talked with our allies about this. They have very well understand that this is a temporary pause while we do an analysis of what the impacts are in the United States. What would the analysis be? What do you have to now? I'm happy to tell you.
Stop and think about it for a second. The world is at war. They need our energy.
And they will continue to get it, sir.
You're telling them, no, we're going to slow it down.
No. That's not what we're telling them.
That's what a pause means.
No, a pause means on future approvals. We have so much approved that we are well saturating the globe if those authorizations are built out. We have 14 billion cubic feet of capacity right now. That makes us the largest in the world right now.
What would you have to
Another
study?
12 billion cubic feet that are under construction.
What do you have to study?
None of that is stopping.
What do you have to study?
Pause for a study
that will be
completed in months.
Okay, what do you have to study? Okay. What's there to study?
We want
to sell LNG.
There are four things we're studying. To be able to answer your question, there are four things we're studying. One is, what is the impact domestically on our manufacturers if we export almost half of our capacity for producing natural gas? What's the impact in terms of cost? Number one. Number two, what is the impact, the life cycle analysis on the export of LNG? Number three, what is the impact on our allies overseas? What is the demand we're going to be seeing to make sure that they are well supplied and that they have the energy that they need? And
you heard any manufacturer call you and say, gosh, I'm worried because we're selling LNG overseas?
There are a lot of domestic concerns. In fact, we've gotten letters on both sides of the aisle here about what does it mean for costs at home if you export almost half of what you currently produce. What is the impact from a supply and demand point? It's a question, and we're only doing.
You think we should export nothing?
We're going.
Should we do that with everything we export?
As we authorize massive amounts of exports, we need to know what is the impact on America, on our American manufacturers, on our homeowners. What is the cost?
Secretary, with that analysis, do you think we ought to put pauses on exporting anything else we manufacture in this country?
The reason why we're doing this is because there's been such an extraordinary increase in authorizations. When we did our last study, we were only exporting 4 billion cubic feet. Now we have authorized 48 billion. Not all of that will be built, but the point is we need to go eyes open to see what is the impact on us at home as well as on our allies, and to have our labs do a modeling to make sure that we follow the science and understand what the impacts are before we start to approve a whole bunch more.
So if you were head of commerce, then you would start pausing exports of manufacturing goods because you think, man, that's going to cause the cost of manufacturing goods for Americans to go up. It makes zero sense, and it's having a dramatic impact on my state. So I think you made a horrible decision, and I hope you'll change.
Thank you, Senator Scott.